Welcome to Talmudic Treasures. Today we're learning Ketubot page 102. And this alludes to a typical Jewish wedding. For those who have ever seen a wedding invitation, there's actually two times that are found on that invitation. One is Kabbal's Panim, and about an hour later it says the time for chuppah, the actual wedding ceremony. Kabbal's Panim, for those who have attended, we find the chassan, the groom, who is being escorted, usually by a family member, his parents, to the bride, to the kala, in which they're able to see each other. Some actually haven't seen each other for a week. There's different traditions and customs. Now before that, not everyone is aware because maybe they're busy at the shmorg eating, but there's actually a very solemn, small room in which the chassan is found, and there we find that there are documents that are being signed. One of them is the Ketubot, which we've been discussing, which is read under the chuppah at the actual wedding. But there's also what's called Tanoim, which is similar to what is called Ishtar Psikta. Now, everything takes place all at one time at the time of our modern day weddings. The Kedushin, the marriage, it all happens at the same day, at the same time. However, that's not what it used to be. The Kedushin, the betrothal, as we've discussed, could have taken place in this year, 2022, and not until next year will they actually get married. And that's the reason why we discussed that there's an obligation, if for whatever reason 12 months go by and he hasn't gotten married, then he has to start providing sustenance for his wife-to-be. When it came to this document, which was called the Ishtar Psikta, this was very unusual because even just through declaration, even though there was no actual real acquisition, it still works. What happened? So they would get together and the bride and her parents would say exactly how much money they're willing to contribute to the wedding and for their daughter's life thereafter. And the chassan, the groom's parents, would do the same thing. And that is considered to be a valid acquisition, that it's considered to have validity, even though normally you actually have to do something in which there is actual acquisition or handing one thing over to the next. But we're more lenient in this situation that even words alone mean something. And of course, that in itself is very valuable. The power that words themselves mean something, that we want to teach a bride and a groom that it doesn't have to necessarily be that everything has to be in writing. Just what you say alone. If you say that you're going to do something, you say you're going to do something around the house, you're going to do something to help your wife. The wife says, I'm going to do something on behalf of my husband. Words alone should have validity, should be powerful enough that you shouldn't back down, and you're not allowed to back down. And it's something in which is considered to be unchanged. And that's actually what this document, that for those who have ever seen this, that this is something in which this tanoim, the conditions that are made, which is done at this chassan's tish, at the time in which the groom is at this table. And in fact, interestingly enough, there is a tradition that the mothers, the bride's mother and the groom's mother, assuming that they're both alive and present, they take a plate, not to be confused with the glass that the groom steps on at the wedding under the chuppah, but they actually take a plate and they smash it. And it's supposed to be, unlike glass that can be fixed, that could be melted down and refixed, these types of plates, which are made out of earthenware or pottery, that once it's broken, it cannot be fixed. As though to say that these words on this document are words that we will stand by, that will not be broken. And again, this is a very important message, that when the chassan and kala see the plate breaking, they realize the seriousness that what they say to each other today at their wedding and throughout their marriage matters.